Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I've got lockjaw there. Hope you guys are good wherever you are. Today is going to be a video I think a lot of you are going to like. I'm getting a lot of requests on the channel about doing a full collection video, going through every single one of the replicas that I have. This is a toy gun video, everyone. This is not real steel stuff here, so do not demonetize. This is going to be something which is a bit of a sneak peek video. I am going to do a full collection video, but the problem is it is a huge amount of work to do it, to go through every single one of the replicas that I have. It's really sad, and I realize how many I have when I start to do that, and I will get it done, but going through everything, you know, categorizing it, making sure that I'm going to talk about every single one is a lot of work, and so it's in the pipeline. It is going to happen, but for right now, I'm going to give you kind of like a little sneak peek video. So this one is going to be a video about the gas blowback SMG PDW style kind of compact primaries that I have, and I think you guys are going to enjoy this one. So what I'm going to do is go through them all, talk through each one that I have, show you guys some more close-up video of it by just kind of pointing at the camera here. I'm going to go through the changes that I've made to them, what attachments that I have put on them, and then I will also give you a kind of test fire there into the target I've got behind, so you can see the rate of fire, how they perform, etc. So to start off with, we're going to come out with one of, if not my favorite. I'm going to go through that at the end, but to ruin it for you, this is an absolutely incredible gas blowback replica. This is the APFG MPX K. In terms of like a compact gas blowback, I have to say I think this is going to be one of the best out there right now. You can kind of put your opinion down below and tell me if you disagree, but this thing is incredible for a number of reasons. I'd say the main thing that I love about this over any other gas blowback replica that I have, SMGs, full ARs, anything like that, is the trigger. The trigger on this is kind of heavy, but it is the most satisfying thing to pull and is super snappy, which on an SMG I think is something that's quite important. I'll give you a little test fire of this now. There is literally no take up. That's on the wall, and then it has this really satisfying little click. The kind of return on it as well is just a very slight thing. You're on the wall again, and it's a break there. So that is the thing I love about this most. In terms of upgrades I've done to this, and this is, yeah, as I said, this is a replica. This is not real. I'm not actually going to open it up, but upgrades I've done to this is I've just changed out the buffer. There's like a little buffer. Obviously, it doesn't have a buffer tube. It's not got a big spring in it. It's just got this little rubberized buffer at the end there. So that internally is pretty much the only thing I've done. Actually, I have changed the inner barrel on the hot bucking, which I pretty much do on everything. But it is something that performs really well. It does overhop quite a bit. So if you're thinking about buying this, I would say you do generally need to use heavier BBs if you're going to use it outside at range. Otherwise it is going to overhop. What I found with this is actually it's not a big deal because of the fact that if I'm using it indoors, overhop doesn't matter that much because of the range not being there. You know, like I'm not indoors taking shots at serious range. They're normally very close quarters, shorter range shots, so it doesn't have time to overhop. When I'm using 2.5s, for instance, at Battle Lab, that's the max weight BB they'll let you use, so it hasn't been an issue for me. I don't even have to change the hop up really on it, and then if I'm outside I go to 3.2s or heavier and it works really well. So I absolutely love it, and I've actually got another one which I'll show you next, just because I love it so much. However, this I have to say is my favorite. In terms of exterior stuff that I've done to this, I've actually put a real Sig Sauer telescopic stock on this. You do get one that comes with the actual replica. That one is, I have to say, pretty similar. I've got it on my other one, so I'll show you the difference. The great thing about this stock I love is you push the button and it drops out. It's got 2 points of engagement, which again, like I always actually have it on the max. Super light. It's got a little bit of wiggle to it, but it's not in any way like a lot. And when it's fully engaged or fully retracted, these bars are along the side, and it's really compact. I've actually got this this suppressor on here, which is a tracer unit. You obviously do not need to do that, and it is a lot shorter, as you can kind of see, if you don't have that suppressor on there. However, I find if I am using it going around corners, it really is perfect, and if I'm using it indoors and I want to have a tracer unit, I have the ability to do that straight away. I've also changed out the handrail, so this is a Midwest Industries handrail, very similar to what comes on its stock, but this just has a bit more M-lock in the the 369, and then it's got these angled ones which aren't really like the 2 and the 7. It's kind of like a, let me show you there, it's kind of like a slight angle on this. It's not really a full, if I can get that across, let me show you that there. It's not really a full, but I love the shape of it. You can grab it really nicely. However, I have put this dye-free Tiger Claw on it. This again is something I'm not 100% sure about yet. When I'm using this, a lot of the time I'm gripping on the mag well. What I found though actually with the Tiger Claw is I've got it in that kind of like reverse position, and it does allow my hand almost to lock in there a lot better. I also can, if I want to, just kind of use this as a foregrip, and that does work as well. So I just like it right now as kind of just like a tactile extra that I can kind of move around and play with. But that's one of the attachments I put on there. Other things I've got is a mod light here with a Arisaka attachment right there with a little extension to push it out a bit further, get it closer to the end of the suppressor. This is a Surefire switch on the top, which again is just perfect positioning. My thumb is on that very, very easily. In terms of sight, I've gone with a Unity Tactical. This is a PTS one. It's not real. But that is a PTS Unity Tactical riser, and on top of that I have a Real Steel EOTech. I love these sights. I use them on a lot of stuff, so you know, I don't think you can ever go wrong with an EOTech. You do not need a Real Steel one, but I can massively notice the difference from a Real Steel to a repro. And obviously if you get a good repro, then that could be different, but I have to say, like, it's very noticeable, a real to a, as you'd expect with the price. K2 Plus grip from Magpul. The grip that comes with this is fine. It's more of that Sig Sauer kind of like egg grip. I don't like them that much, so I will nearly always put one of these on, the K2 Plus. And then I've actually got a larger, an increased size mag release, so that's there, so I can just push that. The great thing as well on this is everything is ambidextrous. It's kind of like your updated MP5. It's obviously called an MPX. They love doing names that are pretty close to other names, SIG at the moment, I find. XM5, XM7, SIG MPX. But I also really love that you have the bolt release here. Like, it's a really, really good position. So is the mag release. It doesn't get in the way. One thing that is a little bit weird is when you are inserting the mag, you really have to make sure you're on that front wall to get it in. If you put it straight in there, you can end up venting the gas, which obviously is not great. Like, you don't want to do that. The rate of fire on this as well is also really, really good. I'll show you that quickly now. So this is the rate of fire in semi, how snappy it is. And then if I'm going full auto, I can go. So it's not insane rate of fire, but it is perfect for what it is. These are like 35 round mags, so I've never really used it apart from having for a bit of fun in full auto. I'll nearly always use it in semi. These mags are amazing. They are expensive as all gas blowback mags are, but they're just really light, really solid feeling. And very easy with this kind of texture on it to actually kind of get it in and out of that. And I actually just really love stacking a load of these. I've got a chest rig. Anyway, I can't stop saying good stuff about this. Downsides really is that mag insert. And other than that, I've really had no other downsides with it. What I'll also do on a lot of my slings, which is the same for my AR kind of primary platforms as well, but with these especially, I'll normally have a 2-point sling. I'll have like a Magpul QD that I put up there. This one has a QD built into the actual rear of the lower, so that's there, which I always love. But what I'll end up doing is I will run this as a 2-point, Let me just, I also put this on there, just that quick pull. So I'll run this as a 2-point, but then what I'll always do is actually have a, now I'm doing this and I can't actually work it out. I always have one of these Magpul QD sliders on here. And what that means I can do is I can remove the QD here and I can just insert it here. So if I want to go from a 2-point to a 1-point, this means I can dangle it down. It's a lot easier to switch shoulders if I'm going around a different corner, and then I can go back very easily to my 2-point if I want to just secure it. You know, that's kind of where I run my slings, and that's pretty much for everything. So that's probably it on this one, guys. I've obviously gone through the MPX K, so I will pretty much very quickly go through the other MPX K that I have. Because it's going to be mainly very similar. I have actually got a top, I think it's a top shooter or a top, you can see that purple little nozzle in there. I've got that in there and I don't really like it. It's an aluminium nozzle, and I find with this, with the rate of fire that I have, it definitely shears BBs sometimes and stuff can get locked in. So the stock bolt, which is a plastic nozzle, I think is way better. So if you have the option, do that. I can't find another stock one. I actually built this with buying an upper, which is the copper head, which you can get. This is not the stock upper. And then I bought a separate lower, so that internal's on the upper side, like the bolt, I just can't find. So I'm trying to look for one of those, and if I can get it, great. This obviously is two-tone, so I found this, as I've talked about in a previous video, but the company APFG that make it, they're basically VFC. I think they had the trade agreement with SIG to do their licensed products. It sounds like they had some kind of falling out, and therefore they had built, I believe, a load of these lowers with the SIG trades on them, which then they found out they weren't able to sell. So some retailers do have these and they don't advertise them as that, but I ordered this separately from JK Army. It came through and it had the SIG trades on it, which made me very happy. I don't have that on my other one, but I kind of thought, you know what, if I have this copperhead, which I bought as a kind of change out for that, I could just buy this lower and build it out a separate one. So this is kind of like an extra upper that you can get. It's a lot shorter and it's kind of like a monolithic upper. So there is no separation between the upper and the actual front handrail, which again, I think is very cool. This has got M-LOK on it, and it's got an M-LOK slot under here. This is useless. I can't do anything with this because of the fact that that lip is there. So that's just something to bear in mind. The other things that I've done to this is the stock, the one that comes with it, which is a repro of the Sig Sauer. I have to say again, like there's not much difference, and you're spending like $250 to get this one, and this is free. It's got the trades on it. It literally is kind of like I found no issue with that. So if you guys get the stock one, I don't think there's any point in getting that. I've got a Vortex red dot on this. This is a great sight. I normally was not a big fan of like small kind of optic windows, but with this one, it's actually really good. Like it's a really, really nice optic. They've also got very good warranties where if you get shot out, they'll send you a new one. And this is the Vortex Spark AR, SPARC-AR, a little bit more of affordable optic, definitely than that EOTech. So I think that's good. I've got the PTS, I believe this is, I can't remember which version this is, but it is like a flash hider that will take the PTS Dead Air Sandman suppressor. So I have the option to put that on if I want to trace a unit on here. I've got the Streamlight, what is it? The TLR RM2 laser. So that is a flashlight and a laser. So that will give me both of those, which I really like having both. And like normally this isn't really built for this, but for some reason on this replica, it fits really well. Like the rail is short and it leaves my finger here. So if I want to use it, great. If not, I can just kind of take that grip. Let me just do this quickly. Take that grip from the magwell up to there if I need it, which is fantastic. I actually haven't put a second sling point on here, which I need to do. What else have I got on here? I think that's pretty much it. Oh, die-free Kung Fu grip, which is the one that I've put on it. I did a video about these and installed it. I actually do really like it. If you're looking for one of these in the UK, go to Jaeger Precision's website, you know, go to his channel, but he's now stocking these, so you can get those in the UK from there. In the US, you can order them directly, which is what I did. And you can see here, that is the difference with the mag release. Like, that mag release is the standard one. This one is the extended larger one. So you can see that there. That's the normal, and that's the larger one. And I do have to say I like the larger one myself. Actually, I also changed the fire selector on this. I don't know if I like that, to be honest. I don't think I would do that again. I would probably keep it stock. This has actually got a BB in it, so it's good that I checked that. And I've just vented the gas. Okay, so that's got rid of that. And you just get some more gas in here. But the rate of fire on this is going to be very similar. It might be slightly faster, or actually slightly slower, because it's actually an aluminium nozzle instead of the... Okay, well, this nozzle right now is not actually engaging that, so I need to open this up and check if we have a BB that is stuck in here and preventing that. Anyway, that is going to fire basically at the same rate than the other one is, a little bit of a different style. So that is my APFG MPX K collection. I'm running out of space already with this, so I need to be kind of mindful of what I'm doing here. Moving on to another version of an SMG that I have two of. That's more of a PDW. I actually have two MP7s, the classic. I never was a massive fan of these, but I actually do really like them. If I had to choose between the MPX K to use and this, I would go with the MPX K, but it's different. I like how actually your magazine is here, and this one is the one from VFC. So I got this one first. I do really like it because it is very much real steel in terms of the dimensions of it. It has actually, its bolt release is facing the right way, so you push up to release the bolt. That is something that on my other one, which I'll talk through in a second, it does not do that. So that's just something to bear in mind. I always find these charging handles a little bit, they just feel very flimsy, and the trigger on this is not in any way as good. Like, it's very soft. You've got that Glock style safety, and then the take-up's there, and it is incredibly mushy. So if you are thinking of buying this, that is something you could definitely change out. This also fires pretty hot. Like, it's around that 400 mark, but I think it really is, it's going to be running higher than that generally. I actually put a different rear on this. So this is the stock rear plate, which has got this different style. It's actually kind of like a ripstock, which is kind of cool. So I can literally just like rip it and it comes out. So I think that is cool for like quick deployment. I don't know if I like this particularly though, because it woggles around, whatever you want to say. But having the ability just to go like and then deploy it is cool. It's got a ton of like different actual extensions in there. Other thing is, this is the like Navy model, so it doesn't come with the fold out classic foregrip, which kind of like goes in. So I put a foregrip on this on the Picatinny rails. It is something which I think you may need. Like, it doesn't really have the mag well, because obviously the mag is going in here. But that is something that I would say I didn't think I would need, but I do actually feel like that is something that works really well. This is a PTS foregrip as well, so that's just something to mention. In terms of other stuff, I did have this built out more with a sight on it. I actually switched that over to my other MP7 because I like that one more. That's the Tokyo Marui one. To give you an idea of rate of fire on this guy, there is a little fill. I haven't used this one for a while. As soon as I got the MP7 one, I've used that one and not this. Oh, sorry, the MP7, the Tokyo Marui one. Okay, so there's some gas. And as you can see, or as you can hear, because I haven't used it that much, it is actually venting right now. So that should be fine. I can look at that, because it's an empty mag, and you push that down to release, and then I just want to make sure this is, yeah, okay, so that is the, look at that right there. So I need an O-ring to put in there to like replace that. Anyway, it shouldn't matter too much for demonstration purposes. That is the semi and full auto. That's actually slower, I think, than it would be normally. Let me just see if I can quickly top this up and just... It's not going to be probably as quick as the MPX, but it is still generally, when I've used it before, quicker than that. So that's probably a bit slow for what it is, just because I've got a leaky mag. I need to remind myself to do that. It also has full trades. It's got your Heckler and Koch, like you can see here, where that is now freezing. You got your H and K there, or Heckler and Koch as some people call it. Licensed product, Heckler and Koch. It's a good SMG. I just have to say, since I bought it, I haven't used it that much. I think some people absolutely love it, and it is full size. So that's another one that people really like. So going on to my other one, this is the Tokyo Marui. This actually is a lot smaller. It's not a lot smaller, it's smaller. So it is smaller than the real steel. I really like how this one feels. It has the wrong bolt release. So this one you push up instead of pushing down, which is wrong, but for me that's not a big deal. It's not your mil spec. It has the actual classic old school V1 foregrip, which again I didn't think I would like, because you can't really do much with it. It's built into the front, the upper or lower technically, sorry. It's built into the lower, so you know, that's something I didn't think I would like, but actually the positioning of this I really like. And then if you want to, you can just fold it up like that. I've got the stock rear plate and the stock. So this actually, again, you can kind of see that it's actually inside, which I think, again, I prefer. I changed it out on the other one, and I kind of wish I hadn't. But the movement for the stock, you're literally just pushing this up, and then you're doing that. It does not have as many adjustment levels, and it's not like a rip stock. So again, that's something to bear in mind. These do have an issue apparently when you use them too much or to a certain level, where this back base plate can crack. And so what I did for that is I found this spring. Sorry, just ran out of camera battery there. Yes, as I was saying, the sling plate at the back here, the base plate at the back here, I've actually got this sling mount which will go on there, and it kind of holds between that rear plate and the back here. So I've heard that this can help and stop that from happening. We'll wait to see. I've got an Olight actual, what is it called? An Olight attachment here, which goes on to Picatinny. So my Olight, I can do the laser and the flashlight, or I can just do a flashlight version, and that'll slip straight on there, and then I can attach it. Internals, I haven't actually done anything on this one. I have put this sight on the top, which is the Hollow Sun. It's the SCRS GR2, so it's a green dot sight. Again, I really like this, even though it's that smaller window. It is kind of like it just really is open kind of when you keep your eyes there, and it has this riser as well. I always like a riser generally, because if I've got face protection on, it does affect me getting too low or getting low enough to that. It's got these Picatinny rails on the side, so you can attach other attachments if you want to, but I would say out of the two MP7s, this one is my favorite. Again, the charging handle on this is not the most solid feeling thing in the world, but you know, I think that's just MP7s in general. Let's give you a quick idea of what this is like to fire. I think this one as well, I'm not sure, because I think you have to import it, but they again done a Tokyo Marui and they've stolen the licensing on this. So they're not supposed to have the H&K licensing, but they've done it, which is kind of what they've done with a few other replicas they have. Okay, so this is it in semi. Let's just make sure. So the recoil on this, you can see, is pretty great. It's very, very snappy. The trigger is kind of that mush. There's no real wall. Full auto. So I think that's probably around the rate of fire normally that you would have the VFC. This is a lighter kind of replica and it's smaller. So just for me, I know it's not as real in terms of the dimensions, but I do prefer this one in general. And I think that's a mixed thing. Like some people prefer the other versions. So yeah, so that's me on this one. Next we have this. Which is the Lambda Defense B&T GHM9. This thing is a very affordable replica. It's not very expensive at all, so you can get this. I've actually put a rail on here, which is a slightly longer rail, which is a metal one that they sell. I've put a metal upper as well. This is normally all polymer. This is also a polymer lower here. What is very cool with this is it takes Glock mags, so you can effectively get all of your Glock mags. This is the one that comes with it, but you can get your Glock mags and you can use them in this, which I thought was great because I do have quite a few Glocks, so just being able to use it I think is kind of fantastic. This is an Ace Tech Bifrost tracer, which isn't really a real steel comparable, but what I did find is it fits perfectly into the space here within the handrail. So I kept the older or I kept the smaller outer barrel in here and just attach this straight on. You can get a two-piece one where it'll kind of attach onto there as well. I actually put an Olight pistol kind of light on here because it kind of fits perfectly. And when I mag well grip this, my finger just kind of sits there. So it works really well. This is an Olight Boulder, I think. Yeah, Boulder Pro R. So it has a green laser on it as well as the flashlight, which again, I like to, in my SMGs, have a tracer, a laser, and a flashlight. Because I think when you're using these in CQB or in indoor, which is where I kind of use the SMG platform, that allows me to have everything I want. I want a flashlight when I'm coming around a corner to kind of blind anyone. I want a laser so I can quickly acquire target and don't have to necessarily use the red dot. And then I want the tracer so I can see where the BBs are going. It's just a lot more satisfying doing that. I also got this rear plate with the stock on it, and this again is I believe this is a ripstock. Yeah, so that's a ripstock, same thing. So you can buy those again from Lambda Defense. It's kind of a great one where Lambda Defense will do quite a few. I've actually decided to put a rear sling point on this because I couldn't find a way to do one on here. You could probably attach one to the stock in some way, but what I did is I did a rear, I could just put a Picatinny to Magpul QD sling release, but I actually had these lying around and I'll probably change this, but it was a Picatinny to M-Lock rail adapter, and then I've put one of these QD mounts on the front. On the back, I only have this right now as a single point sling. I'll probably end up putting another QD Magpul QD release here, so then I can run it as a two-piece and then do my usual attach it in as I want. The actual action on this I quite like it's a charging handle here, very short kind of bolt. You have your bolt release buttons here, so that pushes the bolt forward. The actual speed of this firing, the rate of fire, is not very high, but it's kind of satisfying. So I do like that. I'll show you that in 1 second. Only other thing I've done with this is, you can move this. So I could change this from an actual reciprocating charging handle from this side onto this side if I want to. What I find actually is my thumb would get in the way here. So that bolt would kind of catch me. So I do quite like almost the AK style, having it on the far side if I'm a right-handed guy. This is a Holosun HS 510C. These are great sights, not too expensive. Holosun do some really well-priced sights for what they are. This is a great red dot, so I can highly recommend that. It's a real steal again. I also found this, which is a lens guard, which goes on the front. I can't remember which brand this is, but I'll try and find that. Let me know if you want to know that down below, and I'll see if I can find that for you. Rate of fire on this one, I'll give you quickly. So the other thing is I could just run my secondary with my Glock mags, and then I could, if I'm running a secondary Glock, and then I could use the same mags on this, and also I can use my extended Glock mag, my 50, I could use my drum mag for my Glock. So for me, it was like, this is a fairly cheap replica, and I can just plug and play into my existing Glock, kind of, you know, what I've got currently. So this is the rate of fire on this one. Let me just make sure that this is empty, so that's safe. This is semi. Okay, yeah, so this is the semi. It makes a cool kind of noise. And then this is the full auto. So you can see it's kind of a slower rate of fire, but it's super satisfying to shoot. Performance is really good on it. I changed out the barrel and the inner barrel and the bucking on this one as well. And that's pretty much sums up this one. And so the last one I've got is really not an SMG PDW. It's kind of like a micro SMG, but this is my VZ 61 Scorpion. This I really like. It's just super compact. You can kind of like dual wield these if you wanted to. You've kind of got that compact feeling, plus you can actually do the deploying of the stock very easily, so you can run it in two kind of ways. I've got a Kydex holster which I'll run this with, which is kind of like having a pistol holster. And the mags, you know, you can get an adapter for HPA with this, but the mags, you can get these short ones or you can get larger ones. Very simple kind of use, you know, like it's, you know, it's plug, you know, it's, you know, the mags work. There's no real rails on it, so you're not putting a red dot on it. So for this with me, it's hard to put a tracer on. This is more like a kind of showpiece where I'm not going to be using it in the same tactical way that I would use some of these other ones, but it's a really cool little micro SMG, and I just really like it. Also, the rate of fire on this is pretty crazy. I like, actually, I have a lot more of the larger mags than this, so you can carry a lot of these, and it's an older replica. Like, this has been around for a long time, but it is just a very satisfying thing to shoot. So I can actually just charge it like this, which I'll show you. So if I charge that, if I take it off safe, that's probably a good idea. If I charge that, you can see it kind of has the bolt window at the top there, the gas chamber, the eject for the casings if this was a real steel, and then the actual charging handle is a dual-sided like little button effectively. This is the rate of fire on it. So it's a really fast rate of fire. Also, what I like is you can dry fire these by doing this with the mag. So you can push this up, push this up, and it releases the spring. If you pull the actual follower down, it'll lock into place. So effectively that follower is not stopping the bolt. So you can do that on each mag. You can train with it kind of cool with one working, one not. So I really like that. But that again is a fairly affordable, very cool piece of kit. But I do think if you're looking for something to put a sight on, etc., this is not probably the one for you. So I was going to fire them actually, guys, but I've kind of dry fired them for you. This video is getting up to 35 minutes. So that at the moment is there's a couple of other little things, but that at the moment is my SMG PDW gas blowback collection. I hope this has been a fun video for you guys to watch, to go over any kind of other pieces. If you have any questions about these, just let me know, but they all pretty much have the recoil and realism of it. You know, they've got that kind of rate of fire. I think firing one of these compared to firing an AEG version is so much more fun. You've got to be careful with gas efficiency, with the cool down effect. It's not going to be as consistent as an AEG is, of course, but that noise is just so much more fun for me, and the recoil is the big thing. Best obviously for CQB. These outdoors will work. The MPX K will for sure, but you know, if you're using these, it's definitely an advantage to have that shorter barrel and have that in those environments. So So that's good. Anyway, last question is going to be, which one would you guys choose? I'd love to know. And again, if you have any other questions on these, just put them down below. If you want to join the membership, that's available. We are going to be doing quite a few giveaways in the next few weeks. So there's 2 tiers on that. Go and check it out. I'd love for you guys to become members. And if you have any questions, definitely about that, let me know as well. All right, guys, have a great day wherever you are. And I'll speak to you all very soon. Goodbye.